I make lots of notes during the day about things that I don't necessarily talk about, but I don't know. So mostly the notes today have got to do with recalcitrant fuckfaces. Those are negative people who refuse to change and are very stuck in their ways and gloat at their good fortune, knowing so many people on earth don't have it good at all. So it's the old carrot and the stick kind of thing. In other words, well, there's been all of this spiritual information available throughout one's lifetime. And if one doesn't take advantage of this, then one is an ignoramus. And then in their everyday life, they become a fuckface, a devil. And so many people in the corporate world, we all have had horrible managers and, horrible coworkers, and unbelievably horrid human resource people. Um, Banks. I don't know. I don't know. I had one investment from my first job, and I gave it to the Royal Bank. It had to be a sealed-in registered retirement savings plan, so I couldn't cash it out. I still can't cash it out, and it's been in the Royal Bank since about I don't know 1996, and it hasn't even kept up with inflation. So my money locked away by government edict. Now, I suppose I could go to the bother of changing it to another account somewhere else, but my experience is that these investment things, vehicles, are shitty. They're shitty. They just steal. The banks just steal from you. We all know that they make record profits every year. So how is it that they make record profits and yet their managers lose money for me? Long term, and then they go and they know it, and then they stop publishing their long term results. They because they're fuck faces. They're just fuck faces. So anyway, everything to do with our everything, political economy, everything to do with it is up for examination of exactly how people did within this system. Okay, so we're expecting to find lots of recalcitrant people. They're going to be quite surprised when they meet the darkness of themselves and what they are all about. How does this go? Well, Stuart Wilde, stuartwilde.com, STUARTWILDE.com, has got lots of talks about it. And, well, he was given visions by the beings, which are, I don't know, the spiritual beings of high power and high, I don't know, I don't know, just, whatever. And they showed him what was going to happen on planet Earth as part of the Great Ascension into the fifth dimension. Those people who refuse to raise their consciousness voluntarily, having had all this time up to this point to do that work, refusing to do it in many cases when they've been told, that they're just whatever it is, toxic. Well, the next step is their own inner darkness, law of attraction. If you're very dark, then law of attraction says that things of like vibration attract one another. Mr. Wilde basically described the visions that he saw, where he saw one really fat woman, just disgusting. I don't know. You think it's fat shaming? Well, he said what he was shown was the unbelievable amount of chicken wings this woman was into. On just lack of care for other people and lack of care for animals. And I'm sorry, if you're a fat fucking person, then you're a glutton, aren't you? And that's one of the cardinal sins in the Catholic Church. And well, we have to go look. We have to go look spiritually. What are the sins? And gluttony is a huge issue, not only with food but with money, power, control, abuse. So, anyways, that's what it's all about. And what's expected is that the devils will find these people, or Mr. Wilde often said it was their own inner devils, parts of themselves, that would, he said, eat them in a horrifying manner. Could you imagine, like, in Doctor Sleep, if those vampire things, those horrid monsters, end up eating you? Well, that's what's going to happen, according to the visions of Mr. Wilde, among other things that are possible, but a lot of things that are designed to, I don't know, finish off those people who are fuckfaces. So I don't know what else to tell you because, you know, it's been that's what's been shown, and I'm just putting it out there in case it starts to happen. That people. I don't know exactly what the remains of these people are going to be. For more information, please go to stuartweld.com and read his stuff on his blog. He's got the most amazing information about all kinds of possible things that might be happening very soon. Another one that he was given, another option was, a planet-wide DMT release into people's brains. Like what people get when they go on ayahuasca or whatever, and then they go on a massive trip and they meet the darkness inside. Um, I've met some dark things, and there's nothing quite to scare you to the bone than when you meet darkness and you have no defense against it. Most horrific scare you'll ever have, and it's coming for a lot of people. And I don't know if they're going to be able to recover from it or whether it's going to kill them. I guess we're going to wait to see. But for those it doesn't kill, it will definitely shake them to the foundation, and they're going to want to know, what the fuck do I do now? And what they're going to need to do is get the book, The Art of Redemption, by Stuart Wilde, or whatever else it is that get that book, The Art of Redemption, because that's exactly what those people are going to need to do. Mr. Wilde talked about the three graces, so you can go there and look up the three graces on his website. And why are we using this? Because I can't type all that shit out, and he's already got it all there. And Mr. Wilde passed on quite some time ago, so I'm the one that keeps telling people about Mr. Wilde now that he's passed on, because I do all the time. Because it's really important that people get a good idea what the hell is going on. And Mr. Wilde is, he's been talking this way for a long time. 1995, I think it was, Whispering Winds of Change, when he predicted all the stuff that's coming on now. He predicted what we call now the global shadow, the outpicturing of the global shadow. Shadow is in psychology. It's your inner darkness that's unprocessed. It's when you just go around virtue signaling how wonderful you are, and the truth is the truth is the truth behind the mask of what you put on for the public. Many people are they're not exactly what they say when they're out in public, are they? Anyways, consciousness itself knows, just like Santa, who's been naughty and nice. And unlike Santa, who doesn't punish all these people, at least so far, I don't know, but you rearrange Santa and you get Satan. So, everybody knows Santa is wonderful and gives you presents, but, the flip side of Santa is going to be the same thing, Satan. And what's Satan going to do? Well, we just have to watch that TV show Lucifer on Netflix. Lucifer knows your inner darkness. He knows your lies. There was another show on Netflix where a girl had her own personal, you might think it demonic, but that demonic was I don't know, integrating your shadow means, knowing, just knowing when people are lying to you and what kind of bullshit things are going on, what scams they've got going on, and all of their hidden motives and all their hidden agendas and their hidden societies and their hidden connections. We think of Gus Frink in the Breaking Bad sequel, Better Call Saul. Gus Frink appears to be a legitimate businessman, very successful, multi-unit restaurants. Spoiler alert. Well, we also learned that Gus Frink, anything to do with Breaking Bad, it's going to be involved with, something to do with organized crime. So, Gus Frink, those kind of people. How many people around here, wealthy people, are, secretly part of human smuggling and I don't know, all kinds of, no one knows yet. Anyways, the devils are ready to go. They've been given authorization now from forces of light. Me. I'm force of light. I'm not a force of light. No, I'm not. I know, because you can't be a force if you're light. You're power. And what does power mean? Well, I don't know exactly. You stand down completely. You completely surrender to what we call higher consciousness, greater consciousness, the consciousness that knows all of this stuff. I surrender because my ego self, I recognize that I don't know as an ego. I don't know. And trying to navigate as an ego is very difficult, and it wasn't successful for me for a lifetime. So, and we'd heard for a long time to ditch your ego, Eckhart Tolle, and The Power of Now, his follow-up book, Stillness Speaks. I don't know, all this stuff. So, where are we going with this? Well, I don't know. We're just putting it out here into the quantum field to let everybody know that this is here. And however this out pictures, I don't know. But, I've heard stories just the past few days about significant killings by the universe of people because they were stuck in Groundhog Day. And the universe is kicking everybody's chair. And, so you're falling your ass flat down on the floor and you look up and what the hell's going on? The universe says it's time to get your fucking ass in gear. No more Groundhog Day. It's time for your spiritual adventure. And part of the spiritual adventure is diving deep into hell. The first thing that happens before you go in any heavenly places, as far as my own personal journey is, a long trip through hell. A long, it seems like unending, never going to finish trip through hell. And, Beeson the devil, he says, if you look at the way I report how horrible it is to be treated by the devils, he says, this is how we treat you, a good person. He says, we are not really quite sure how we're going to treat these other people. Because he says in certain ways they're us. Because he's a horrible devil. But, it was just that Stuart Wilde in his writings said one time along the way he met the devil. He didn't say which particular devil. He met the devil. And the devil was terrorizing people like me, light workers. So what Stuart Wilde said is, I had to give the devil a bop in the nose. In other words, he went like, smack. And he told the devil, you're a devil. And your job is to scare people straight. That used to be a TV show where they would show what goes on inside prisons. And they would film it, and, juvenile delinquents were sent to meet the hardcore adult prisoners in order to go and see, this is your future. And the adult prisoners, I think they were pretty open with the young delinquents. It's like, I was you not that long ago. And, this is what it's like. This is where you're going to be coming. Like, have a big, give your head a shake. Really, this is I thought, just like you, that I would never get caught and I was going to live, the high life. I was going to be rich and I was going to have everything. And here I am, and it's a horror. So, it was a mistake. So scaring straight is, well, it's not going to be, just a quick visit of the dark if this is what happens. They're just trying to figure it out, because they're trying to figure out how are they related to these human beings. Well, I don't know. Am I expecting this to go through? No. Well, because I haven't seen it so far. I see a lot of talk among the devils, but, and I can't give them a bop in the nose. So, it's a lot of talk. Show don't tell is what we always say. And in the end, it's out there because Mr. Well talked about it, but actually me saying it actually happened, is it possible? Quite possible, yes. Is it probable? I have no idea. That's all I can tell you. It's out there. The devils talked about it, and they wanted me to give you a talk about it. So it's out here now, here. And just because hardly anybody sees it in my video channel, doesn't mean it's not heard. Because if it's heard, then everybody understands. In other words, messages that come from furry people seem to be okay. But people from, messages from, I can't tell you, don't really come through. What are we talking about? Furry people are people who are like critters. What are critters? Well, there's an old movie, a scary movie called Critters. I don't know. I know Critter. Well, I don't know all the critters, but I know one critter. He's he's on Team Blue. Now, Team Blue is usually King Clancy. King Clancy the devil. Now, just imagine this how it goes. Now, Clancy Wiggum, chief of police on The Simpsons, you take him, and then Clancy Wiggum gets addicted to playing World of Warcraft. Then Clancy, knowing there's a dark web because he knows all about the police and he knows how to get in as a policeman, goes into the dark web and he starts playing like a Ready Player One virtual reality game. And somehow it ends up targeting me. Because that personality of Clancy Wiggum is one of the devils that bedevils me every day. In fact, he gave me a horrific pounding this morning. I don't know, for about 4 hours. I was just lying in bed with Clancy. What he, I don't know. You've never had the King Clancy experience until you've had the King Clancy experience, and I've had a good, I don't know, over 5 years of it. So I don't know. It's just the kind of devils that I get are targeted at me, and I don't know if anybody other than the people who target me can target devils. Do you think devils keep track of us? Traditional devils before the electronic kind of devils came across. I don't, the Catholic Church talks about the devils all the time, don't they? And even in the Bible, Jesus dealt with the devil, Satan. I see human devils. Oh, it's Justin Trudeau today, chewing out regular Canadians who were enjoying themselves and their freedom when they were on vacation, putting out on national TV and U.S. TV, excoriating citizens of Canada from a known hypocrite. I don't know, all kinds of shit that hypocrite does. The biggest hypocrite on the planet today is Justin Trudeau. Anyway, I keep saying I expect that the people of Canada are going to uprise, and the people of Canada are going to find Justin Trudeau, and they are going to remember Benito Mussolini, El Duce. El Duce, you can look him up on Wikipedia. El Duce was the leader of fascist Italy during World War II. He was a devil. And when Italy lost the war, um, Benito Mussolini was found by the partisans, and they hung him by the neck until he was dead, and then he was left hanging so that the people could witness that this indeed was El Duce, and he had finally met, his just desserts. Unlike what we were told about Osama bin Laden, we never saw the body. They just said, well, we caught him and we threw him into the big lake there or something. And that was a pile of shit. No one wants to tell you how fucking devilish Obama is. That man is a vicious, evil. Anyway, all the U.S. presidents, I don't know. It's very difficult to tell you. I don't know. They must know a lot of stuff that they don't tell us. Next item. We don't have anything else to tell you. Best thing you can do if you do come under demonic attack is there's nothing you can do. In my experience, all you can do is nothing. Focus on your breath. Because they come right in your mind. And they start shaking you on the inside, and they can make you physically violent. They can kill you. And I don't know what to tell you. Whether this all transpires or not, it's here. So everybody can remember. It's too late to deal with your darkness now. Well, I don't know. You got a good scare, and then you get that book, Stuart Wilde, Art of Redemption. Or get it now and start working on it. Well, it's just said, even Phil Good on YouTube is a fantastic spiritual teacher. He just said, even he got the wake-up call from the universe, because there were some things that you might say he was holding on to. And I think it's a lot to do with guilt and shame. Phil Good is gay, just like me. And gays have got a lot of guilt and shame that's thrust upon them by the homophobic straight society. So, anyways, could be other things, but I think the guilt and shame, Dr. Hawkins of consciousness research always said, those are very low frequency things. And guilt and shame is often because of an overactive superego, according to Dr. Hawkins. I mean, he's a psychiatrist, and he's a brilliant guy. So what do you do about an overactive superego? Well, your superego is the one that's your parental figure. It's the one that always says that was a mistake, that was always chiding you for making mistakes and saying you're not good enough and you couldn't possibly do that job. You're not smart enough, or that person is just way more beautiful and talented than you. All this negative self-talk. Because you might have grown up in a family and adopted, if you had toxic parents, then that toxic parents becomes embedded in you as a superego. So taming your superego, if it's overactive, is one thing. And then I think other people have underactive superegos. Because the secret of all of this is to have inner morality, inner ethics. And so many people have zero ethics, so they don't have a superego that's looking over them and saying, that was not nice, that was fucking vicious, and bothering the person and making them want to puke in the middle of the night because of the nasty thing they're doing. It's a conscience. Let your conscience be your guide was Jiminy Cricket's um, refrain. Anyways, those are some things that people can ponder, and I don't have anything else to tell you. Thank you very much.